Hey folks, we're just doing a casual stream tonight. We're doing some rewrites on the screenplay we did the other night. So I just figured while I had it up, I might as well go ahead and stream the rewrites. Nothing too fancy tonight. We're just kind of going through it and seeing where we can punch it up, maybe make it a little longer. Maybe go back in, make some spelling corrections, stuff like that. Nothing, like I said, nothing too fancy. So we're working in Fade In, which is screenwriting software. And right now I am in revision mode. Boom. And which is why this page is blue and this page is white. So we're just going to come in here and we're going to add a transition. And we're going to add in a new scene. Before we do that, though, let's just shed a little light on the subject, shall we? Unfortunately, my keyboard does not light up, or at least it doesn't light up the letters, so makes it hard to see. So, all right, so this is going to go right at the beginning. It just felt a little too quick, and I feel like the main villain of the piece, there's nothing about him within the piece that makes him feel threatening. So I need a scene that really kind of demonstrates how threatening this person actually is. And so we're going to add that in. We may actually add it in a couple places, but we're going to add one to the beginning here. So the opening scene kind of introduces him in appearance, but not in personality. So we're going to do an interior chow hall night. Crowded chow hall. A large open space where the prisoners, well, chow down. See, Alvarado is dead center of the room. He is flanked by two large gang members. Who stand watch as he eats. Let's see. Should we name the gang members? Let's name them. Tito. And Oscar. Alvarado is relaxed. Far more than one should be in this sort of environment. Large white male. It looks like he may have escaped from a circus. Or no, may have been a carnival strongman. The bar, mustache, and muscles upon muscles. Looks up to Alvaredo's table. Tito and Oscar begin to move in, but Alvaredo waves them off. Mustache. I forgot the E on mustache. How did I do that? What should we name this big muscle-bound handlebar mustached person? I don't know. If you have an idea, let me know. I'm gonna leave it blank for the moment, but I need to put something in there because you just format-wise, you need to introduce by name your characters within the script. So I need something, but it should be something threatening, and yet not maybe necessarily all that threatening. Or maybe something humorous. A little bit of humor can go a long way. Oh, excuse me just a moment. No, no, no! I'm gonna open up some chat windows here. Because I don't think my Streamlabs chat is working all that well. I don't think it actually shows me much. So I'm gonna open this up. Just to make sure I can see everything. I'm going to do the same for Twitch. And Facebook. Because we're on Facebook. Oh. Halo Par dropped in to say hi and bye. She's running the D&D game. So, thank you for stopping by, Halo. And let's open up YouTube. Because I've actually never had YouTube open while I've been streaming. So, I wouldn't even know. So hopefully I'll get a notification that there's some chat. So clearly the Facebook is still not sending chat to Streamlabs. That stinks. But it doesn't really matter. I think Facebook Live is going away eventually, but we'll see. We shall see. Anyways, back to the screenplay. Okay, so we need to name our bad guy. Or, not our bad guy, but our other bad guy. It's really just two bad guys facing off at the moment. So... this is... who is this? This is... Thorvald. It's good enough. Oh, I say strong, tall, strong. Strong in muscle. Let's see. No, a carnival. No. Carnival strongman. Tall with a handlebar mustache and muscle upon, and it should be muscle upon muscle. Muscle upon muscle. Yep. Somehow I got rid of my G. Okay. And I'm going to teach it Thorvald. Alrighty, let's move on to character. Alvaredo. Want to move. Blocking my light. And that heat eating in the dark. Yay. Thorvald raises both arms and sends them crashing down. The table immediately splits into two, food flying off. It towers over. No, not an A. Over. Let's go back here. Tito and Oscar look at each other nervously. This man is a full head taller than each and far more muscular. They begin to move in, but overrated with it. There we go. Okay. Gonna put a little space. We don't want our paragraphs to start getting too long, otherwise they look unreadable. Huh? No, that's a he. I'll put that space in there. Menacing smile. smile on his face. His arms to end Alvarado. But stops. Alvarado, comma, but stops. A look of the bewilderment? Is that right? No. Face. Followed by pain. Deep pain. Rado has stabbed him in the groin with a plastic fork. He uses this moment to climb up the hulking form beside him. Scampers around onto Thorvald's back and claps his head between his hands. Thorvald wraps his ears and lumbers backward. He grasps for Rado on his back, but Al is already gone. He, unbeknownst to Thorvald, has scurried between his legs and is once more behind him. Wait. Backwards. Turning as he does. Announced. Side kick into Thorvald's back sends him to his knees. Followed immediately by a sidekick to his head. Thorwald's head slams into the ground, and he is left unconscious. I don't understand. No. Back. Done. Sits once again to finish his smoke. Into the room. Prisoners up and against the walls. Stay seated. And waves, no, gestures. Gestures at them. Position themselves to block view of the room security cameras. Time to introduce a new character. We'll just do guard. Okay, let's transition to the heck was that? Okay, cut to interior prison cell night. Guards. Laredo. Back to his cell. And tell him so. The guards push L. In goes to the cell and assumes the position. Hands on the wall. Spread apart. Facial expression of amused contempt. Let's take that out. Take that out. All right. All right, so now we've got at least one scene here that kind of shows our bad guy, just how bad a bad guy he is, or at least how violent he's willing to be. And that added a full page to our screenplay. Ah! Okay. So let's go through here. So now we've got, okay, so he's in this cell. They bring in his new cellmate. So, guard backs out of the cell. His eyes never leave Alvarado. The guard is smart. The new prisoner looks at Alvarado and then moves to make his bed. Alvarado places his back to the wall and begins to size up his new roommate. He takes a long, slow drag on his cigarette. You ever been in jail before, Fish? The new guy says nothing. No, you haven't. I can tell by the... What's a good way to phrase this? Not pretend. You know, let's look up the thesaurus here. So... No! I accidentally closed out my Twitch. Okay. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. So... Hey, welcome to those viewing. So we're just doing some rewrites on screenplay right now. We're working in fade in. So we're going through. We wrote the first draft over the weekend, and then I'm going through and doing some rewrites tonight and just kind of touch it up some. Trying to write something, unfortunately, I was trying to write something that could be simple, easy to shoot, inexpensive, blah, blah, blah. I think tonight I just made it way more expensive, but not necessarily impossibly so. So just got to kind of figure out how to do it. And I need to find some really, really, really big guys. So, but that's okay. I think I know a few. Actually, I think I know someone who could help me find a few. So... anyways, that's what we're doing tonight. So we've got our main villain, Alvarado, here in the cell. He's, let's see, you tell, but, oh, that's right, thesaurus. Sorry. Thesaurus. Let's see. Let's see. Put on, feign, fudge, hoodwink, jazz, malinger, masquerade, mislead, counterfeit, cheat, beguile. Oh, I know. Let's see. I can tell by tough guy affectation. Ha ha ha. Any chance to use the word affectation? All right, let's see here. Look, I'm going to explain how things work here one time. I run this cell. I run this block. Nothing happens here without my say. You're new here, which means you're a fish. A real little fish in my great big pond. You do what I say, when I say, anything I say. Or you don't make it to the next sunrise. Do you understand me? The new guy. He looks out beyond the cell as if looking for someone. Alvarado moves in on his left. He raises on tiptoes as the new guy is considerably taller. This might give some men pause, but not Alvarado. He's cut down taller in this place, which we have just seen in the previous scene. He lacks fear. Unfortunately for him, so does the new guy. With preternatural speed, the new guy's hand shoots. It should be shoots out at Alvaredo's throat. Alvaredo is shocked by the audacity of the move more than the speed of it. This fish would not last long. Will not last long. Alvaredo grasps the hand of the new guy and pull his hand off his neck. But something doesn't seem quite right. He can't budge his hands. And then a new feeling. What of weightlessness? No, that's not right. He feels his weight pulling on his frame, yet he has the sensation of lifting off the ground. Well, that can't be. This slender frame new guy can't be that strong. And he isn't. He's far, far stronger. Yep.
Oh.
Hi bye.
Hi bye. Mom says hi.
So. No, that's not right. He feels his weight pulling on his frame. Gets a sensation, lift off, blah, blah, blah. He's far, far stronger. Now yet another new feeling for Alvaredo. Darkness at the edges of his sight, slowly creeping in, like the scene of a movie beginning to fade. Yes, that's it. Fading. Fade to black. I still like that, so I think we'll keep that for now. So, interior conference, the room is Spartan, a long table and with only 2 chairs. In one sits the new 2 chairs. Let's see. There is a credenza at one end and a cart with a pitcher of water and glasses at the other. Not waiter. Not waiter. Water. And glasses. Okay. This room is Spartan. A long table with only 2 chairs. There is a credenza at one end and a cart with a pitcher of water and glasses at the other. In one chair sits the new guy, now in a business suit. This is why we do rewrites. He leans back in his chair, his feet on the table. This is Azael. He's 28. At least he looks that young. He has the air of someone who is in complete control of, well, everything. Because he is. Opposite him, unconscious in a chair, is Alvaredo. He's also impeccably dressed in a business suit. A picture of what? No. Get rid of that. His hands are bound to the chair. He begins to stir. Ugh. Azael stands up, walks the length of the table towards Alvaredo. He pulls an empty glass from the cart. Ugh. And glass. And a glass. Rewrite this. He fills the glass and places it on the table, comma, then he takes the okay. Azael stands and walks the length of the table towards Alvaredo. He pulls the empty glass from the cart. Oh wait, no. He pulls an empty glass from the cart and the pitcher of water. He fills the glass and places it on the table. Then he takes the rest of the water. We can get rid of all that. Right there. And pours it on Alvarado. What the hell? Alvarado struggles against his bonds. What the hell? Do you know who I am? You're so dead, fish. Azael looks at Alvarado, smiles, and heads back to his seat. He places his feet upon the table again and simply stares at Alvarado. Alvarado finally begins to look around and realizes he is not in prison. Where are we? Al looks around desperately seeking anything that will tell him where he is and who he's with. Clearly you aren't a prisoner. Azael just continues to stare. Judging by your suit in this office, you must be a Fed. Well, I have nothing to say to you. You should already know that. Azael just continues to stare. You might as well take me back, because you're not going to get anything from me. Gonna get, as you're... Let's see. Not gonna get anything from me. Azael, you guessed it, just stares. But a hint of a smile appears at Alvarado's growing discomfort. Do you hear me, you son of a... You get nothing from me. There's a long silence as Azael continues to stare. Alvarado slumps down in his chair. He will give this moment to his new enemy, but only this moment. He hasn't survived this long by not realizing patience is the better part of valor, or whatever passes for valor in South American gangs. Azael reaches into his jacket and produces a long, double-edged knife. It is engraved and ornate. He sticks it into the table, then reaches to the other side of his jacket. He pulls out a small Walther PPK. He places it gently on the table. Then he produces a phone and places it next to the gun. Azael rests back into the chair again. Another short silence, and the phone begins to ring. On the third ring, Azael places the call on speaker. Voice. You are to wait for the client call. Control wants you to ask the final decision. Act accordingly. Understood. Azael hangs up the phone. Alvarado has been watching intently. Cracks are beginning to form in his armor. And there is sweat on his brow. You're not a Fed, are you? Azael looks at him for a moment. Their eyes lock on one another. No, I am not. Alvarado sighs. A hitman. And so it ends. His years in the streets rising to power, his years in jail, forming his prison network, all coming to an end here, wherever here is. No, this is not how the story will end. Determination now replaces his fear. He will not go down without a fight. He may not win, but he will extract a price. But for that to happen, he must lull his captor into giving him an opportunity. Will you answer a question for me? Ask. Who? Who wants me taken out? Azael rises, turns to a credenza behind him. He grabs a file folder stuffed with pages. He places it on the table between the knife and the gun, and he sits again. He slowly opens the file. With whom would you like me to begin? There are so many. You've been quite a busy beaver, building your little dam and leaving destruction in your wake. Azael holds up a photo and tosses it towards Alvarado. Perhaps it's Constance, the first girl you raped when you were 15. Another photo is tossed. Or Marco, the boy you beat savagely and left for dead when you refused to buy the dope you were pushing. Another photo. Or maybe it was Rodrigo, the boy you crippled during your initiation into your gang. Alvarado looks up incredulously. Whoever this opponent is, he's unusually well informed. No, it's not any of them. Clearly you are a professional, and none of them would have the means to hire someone of your caliber. Azael smiles. Astute. You're correct. None of them. And yet, maybe all of them. Maybe all of them. Alvarado laughs. Well, you certainly have the cryptic routine down, don't you? Well, if you aren't going to tell me who, then you most likely won't tell me why. Exactly. Will you at least tell me how you got me out of jail? Silence. Well, thank you for being so forthcoming. Alvarado spies the glass of water on the table, and suddenly he sees his opportunity. Alvarado, you have placed a glass of water before me. Will you at least let me have a drink? Azael rises, grabs the knife from the table, and walks over to Alvarado. He pauses and looks at him, assessing. Then he cuts the bonds from the chair. Thank you. Al takes the glass and begins to drink. Before he finishes, he quickly rises, thrusting his head into the chin of Azael. Azael stands motionless. Alvarado falls back into the chair, his head throbbing with pain. But this may be his only chance to live. He rises again and shatters the glass of water against Azael's head. Nothing. Azael stands like a statue. Alvarado, however, reels backward, a large gash in his hand. As he begins to fall, however, he grabs the knife from Azael. Let's see. Let's put a space in there just to make this more readable. Azael reaches down and grabs Al by the collar and lifts him effortlessly into the air. As he does, Alvarado plunges the knife into Azael's chest, or at least he tries. With each thrust of the blade, his hand is repelled back at him until finally the force makes him drop the knife. Azael gently places Al back into his chair. Let's see. He turns his back to him without fear, and walks back to his seat. Azael, I trust you have a better understanding of your situation now. Exasperated and in pain from his cut. Yes, ow! Know this. You may die tonight, but your final fate has not yet been written. So please, don't give me cause to change that. Sit patiently. It will not be long now. So, there is a chance I will survive this night. Azael. A small one, to be sure, but yes, a chance. With that, the phone rings again. Is that it? Is that the call? Azael says nothing. He puts the phone on speaker. Is this Mr. Azael? I was told to call this number. I know that voice. Azael. It is. I have one question for you. If you had Mr. Alvarado Lopez helpless before you, what would you do? Voice. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Azael. If Mr. Lopez was helpless before you, what would you do? Would you take revenge for the pain he has caused you? Alvarado. Oh no. Voice. What kind of I don't know. Azael. Please, I know this may be difficult, but it is important. What would you do? There is a long, uncomfortable silence. Alvarado sits there motionless, knowing full well his fate rests on this answer, and also knowing full well what the answer will be. Azael. Miss Lopez. Voice. I'm sorry. The voice weeps on the other side of the line. Alvarado looks up with fear in his face. It is death for him. He is sure of it. Voice. I would... Oh, God help me. I would... tell him he is forgiven. There's stunned silence. Alvarado's fear slowly fades and is replaced with a smile. A very unpleasant smile. Azael. Thank you, Miss Lopez. Good night. Azael hangs up the phone. Alvarado. Ha ha! Yes! Well, as fun as this has been, I will be going now. Under his breath. Now that I know who's responsible, I'm going to make sure that little bitch can never do this again. Alvarado starts to make his way to the conference room door. Azael doesn't move. Just as Alvarado gets to the door, the phone rings again, stopping him in his tracks. An uneasy feeling comes over Al with each successive ring. He looks over his shoulder at Azael. Azael looks up at him as the phone continues to ring. That wasn't the call I was waiting for. Azael's hand moves slowly towards the phone. As it does, time seems to slow. Alvarado watches as Azael's fingers tap the button to answer the call. There is a moment of silence. There is a moment of silence on the other end, and then one word: unrepentant. Cut to exterior hallway, night. The door never opens. If we could see through the glass of the conference room door, or the conference room, we could see through the frosted glass of the conference room, we would see real and final terror in the eyes of one Alvarado Lopez. I think that's supposed to be a comma. We would see real and final terror in the eyes of one Alvarado Lopez, crew chief of a South American gang, rapist, murderer, thief. But we cannot see these things. All we can see is a splash of blood against the frosted glass, a flash of light, and a loud bang. And then, cut to interior, jail cell, day. A doctor and 2 guards surround the body of Alvarado. I can't give you a definite cause. There are no signs of trauma, no immediate indications of what happened. The autopsy will tell us more. Capitalize the... Guard 1, well, guess I'll have to call the family and tell them not to come. Guard 2, what? In the 12 years Lopez has been here, he hasn't had a visitor. Had any visitors, and now someone was coming to see him? Guard 1, his daughter. Though I have no idea why she'd even want to see him after what he did to her. All I know is she had something she wanted to tell him. Something important. Fade to black. I like it. I'm still not 100% on this final scene in the jail cell. I'll have to give it some thought. This is just meant to be a very short, like 10-minute deal. Something that would be relatively easy to shoot. The most difficult part is going to be the jail cell scenes, you know, and stuff like that. So that we may still have to think of something different on that. But all the rest of it just involves having a conference room, and there's only 2 characters, and just to be the conversation between the two, some minor special effects that wouldn't necessarily be all that difficult to do. That would be it. And so I'm hoping that I can get this, that I can maybe cast this and get it shot locally. And so if we do, we will definitely, if we do get to shoot this, we will definitely do the pre-production process and the post-production process online, because that is something I think I'd be interested in streaming. And maybe I don't know, maybe the shoot, maybe we'll do the whole thing, because now we could do the shoot from our phones. I think that would be kind of cool. Just go through the whole process from beginning to end. I don't know, what do you all think? So if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, you know, let me know. Tell me. Drop me a word. Send me a note. Chat it. Message it. Find me on my social medias. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Kick. I'm on Twitter as Free Spartacus. Everywhere else, I'm Beyfenn. So, yeah. So I think that's gonna do it for the writing process tonight. Really just wanted to kind of get that in and get this second draft going. Let's do the most important thing and save it. So, join me tonight. Thank you. Please consider following. And if you're on Twitch, consider subscribing. So, if you're watching this on Facebook and you're like what you see, I know a lot of people watch it after it posts. If you like what you see, please consider going over to Twitch or Kick and following and subscribing. Eventually, I think Facebook Live will probably end up going away. And if that's the case, then you'll have to go to one of those. You could also go to YouTube. You can see it on YouTube Live, and you can see it on YouTube after the live production is done. So please consider subscribing over there as well. Your subscriptions will help me get to partner level, which will help begin to monetize the streaming process. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate if you watch after the fact. So you all have a blessed night. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be streaming live at 10:30. We'll be doing art streaming tomorrow. So please join us for that. Again, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a pleasant evening.